Have you ever prayed, Lord, what is your purpose for my life? This is a call to global missions with a scene from Gone with the Wind and an illustration about searching for your place in God's kingdom. A woman in our church had a dream in which she was walking through various rooms of a beautiful mansion, but she was feeling left out and unneeded. In her dream, this woman finally found a particular room she loved. At last, she felt at home in the mansion, and soon she was making friends and given a perfect job to do. This lady's dream was related in a sermon illustration, with the mansion representing God's kingdom and rooms representing various churches and congregations. Just as this woman had found her place in the house, a church family, and a place of ministry where she could thrive, the sermon encouraged each person to seek God for His purposes. Using this example, I spent some time in prayer, asking the Lord to reveal His will and desire for me and for our family in His house. As I was walking and praying on the wooded trails surrounding our family's home, I felt like I saw a similar picture in my mind. I too was in a mansion, somewhat like the opening scenes of Scarlett O'Hara's home, Tara from Gone with the Wind. As I entered various rooms, I suddenly found myself in the kitchen of my local church, in a vendor hall of a homeschooling convention, in a living room, and in churches. Then, in my thoughts, I felt led to go downstairs to a massive basement. As I looked over this room, which suddenly appeared to be outdoors, I was reminded of another scene from Gone with the Wind, when Scarlett is searching for the doctors to help with her friend Melanie's birth. In the movie, Scarlett steps through a graphic Civil War scene with many wounded soldiers lying in row after row on the ground, moaning for help. As the imagery is captured on film, the camera pans to a broader and broader view as the intense scope of the Civil War's casualties are revealed. Finally, when Scarlett finds the frazzled doctor and begs him to come help, the doctor responds, "Are you crazy? I can't leave these men for a baby. They're dying, bleeding to death in front of my eyes. No chlorophyll, no bandages. Nothing to even ease their pain." In my mind, I envisioned an open-air scene filled with people. As my view expanded wider and wider, I saw a massive crowd with many faces and nationalities and hundreds of crying children. I knew they represented people from around the world, orphans who needed to be rescued and souls who needed to be saved. And just like that lone doctor in Gone with the Wind, hardly anyone was working in this room. People were dying everywhere, and the need was beyond anything I had ever seen. As I prayed, I felt the Lord speak to my heart. You are called to this room to help with the needs of the basement. But you're also called upstairs to other rooms in my house to get others to come help. The need is great and there aren't enough workers. Go to families, women, homeschoolers, and churches, but don't get distracted by the needs in the other rooms. Romans 10:14 and 15 tells us, "How shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach unless they are sent?" If you are searching for your place in God's house, please remember the cries from the basement.